Alright, sorry for the delay, for this uploading schedule, as per usual. Hey, what is up ladies and gentlemen, I'm Piglet here once again, and I'm back for some more of the Maxi Toys videos. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to more Let's Play of Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker for the Nintendo Wii U, Nintendo Switch, and of course Nintendo 3DS. So last time we beat the likes of Wingo in the forms of the epilogue of the forms of episode 1. And by the way, we actually come across into this title sequence right there, which even then, I'll show you guys during the next, the extra video, so even then I might as well show that off during that time period. And also in addition to that though, we also managed to 100% through everything in the majority of episode 1. And today for this episode folks, is the fact that we're going to be hit off to episode 2. Now, episode 2 is incredibly different than the likes of episode 1, although the prologue in the forms of episode 2 starts out very similar to the likes of episode 1, although except the fact that the actual lighting is different. And also, if you remember the golden mushroom as I showed you guys during the prologue of episode 1, well, there's actually a golden mushroom in here. So, naturally though, it's not that difficult to find, other than being that you want to find it, it's just on top of that pillar. So, there we go, we've managed to obtain the power star, just like in the forms of the prologue to episode 1, except the text is now in pink instead of the usual yellow. Could this mean that we can actually play as Toadette for once? Well, we might as well see what happens until this cutscene showed up, which I know it's usually identical to the episode 1 cutscene, except Captain Toad is now kidnapped, as well as in Toadette, she now needs to save him before, well, Wing goes up to something. So, yeah, I think it's about time to let Toadette start to shine. Captain Toad Treasure Tracker 2. Well, to be more accurate, episode 2. It seems like it. It's more likely episodic type of system like that. So, yeah, I do apologize if my capture card's still a little bit fuzzy around here. But even then, though, it works fine enough as it is for now on, though. So, here we go with the first level in episode 2. Acute Scott's Slopes. Now Toadette's off to her adventure, or her own adventure, to be able to rescue Captain Toad. So basically, episode 2 is more accurately the opposite version of episode 1, but the major difference is the fact that we're playing as Toadette the entire time in episode 2, whilst compared to the likes of episode 1, they're playing as Captain Toad for the entire time for in episode 1. So I think that makes a little bit of a difference here, so even though, yeah. So today was actually in forms of the 15th of July in 2018, so yeah, we only got about 2 more days to go until, yep, the Sonic Mania Plus will be on its way onto PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, and Xbox One. It'll be on its way onto the Sonic Mania's release until, well, 2 days time. So even then though, that as soon as when it gets to like the 17th of July, then it's about time to able to finally get a chance to play Sonic Mania again. Because even then though, it's been almost a year since I've touched upon Sonic Mania, the forms of the original version of the game, most notably on the PS4 downloadable version of it. So, and also by the forms of how the fact that I recently managed to pick up myself yet again my PlayStation Network Pounds card. Because of that, we've only got quite a few days left. To be more specifically, I will classify for saying like 9 days left until the Mega Man X Legacy Collections 1 and 2 will be on its way during sometime in around the same days each other, like the forms of the 24th of July, which still I'm really looking forward to that compilation game, so even then know that, yeah. I'm also able to actually just to pre-order the first collection first, just like in the forms of Mega Man Legacy Collection 1, that the fact that I always want to try out the first few games first, and then able to actually just to play Mega Man X5, X6, X7, and X8 for last. So even then I just want to go for those games chronological order, so even then that's why I feel like it, so. I know originally I was trying to able to actually get myself these abundance of remakes on the forms of you know, the remake of Mega Man X1, known as Mega Man Maverick Hunter X for the PlayStation Portable, but I might save that for a later time, and same applies for Mega Man Powered Up for the PSP, which I also am also able to pick up at during some point soon, because at the moment, those two remakes are going to be really hard to find right now, but even then, I'm also able to get those during some time in the future. But for now, as you can see, we're going back to this level again, because the mission objective in this level is just simply we need to collect the golden mushroom, and then if you grab the golden mushroom, then you pretty much kept it for good. See, for now, that makes a little bit of a huge deal right there, so... Oh, could this mean we get ourselves exactly 100 coins? Hell yeah, we got a 1-up and also the 1-up of, no, 100 coins to be more exactly for that spot. So, yeah, there we go. See, it's not that hard of a level though, other than being like, you're gonna have to constantly able to actually, hold down the ZR button before you're able to actually twist things up. So, Stompers sneak around in level 2 in episode 2. So, yeah, that's what I can really think about. Oh yeah, the level's objective in this level is the fact that we need to able to destroy every single piranha creepers. So, yes, self-explanatory right there. So even then, there's not much else to discuss. So even then, though, that yeah. I should probably point things out right away. Is the fact that the fact that Sonic is now finally get back into NES Remix 2. He accidentally says something and oh crap. You know how the fact that he accidentally said something really, rushed earlier? How the fact of the matter is, though, he accidentally said about the fact that, when we're trying to deal with the next, few, Let's Plays we're gonna be doing through, but in forms of, well, specifically in this month, which are, obviously I'm still doing Captain Toad Treasure Tracker right about now, and eventually until when it gets to the midway point in July, that we're hopefully going to be doing the next Kirby game in the lineup, but in forms of Kirby Mouse Attack, aka Kirby Squeak Squad for those of you who lived in North America. He just somehow accidentally said that Delphi is supposed to be going to be doing Kirby Mouse Attack, which I will admit though, Sonic, I actually disagree with you, because do you remember that the fact that Delphi did already tackle through one Kirby game during that time, and that's in forms of Kirby Superstar for the Super Nintendo, or in this case, Kirby's Fun Pack if you those who lived in UK. The fact of the matter is, though, is the fact that he won't be doing any other Kirby game Let's Plays for the time being, so I think I probably should just ask Mario, so that because of that, though, I believe Mario hasn't done any of the Kirby Let's Plays just yet, so I thought to myself, I might as well able to ask him that, so... That should be your problem there, Sonic. I think that's your only problem. You're just simply rushing things too much. That's what I'm trying to say to you. I'm not being too offensive or anything, it's just how the fact that I was just trying to make a suggestion for you. So, yeah, you know, you get the idea. So anyways though, let's move on to level 3 right there, and I do apologize for the actual awkwardness, or even especially some jump cuts every once in a while. Sundown, minecarts, rundown. So even then, originally, funny factor about this, or first of all, man, I love doing that. Especially noticeable how the fact that, it's a bit like how it does in Super Mario Galaxy and Super Mario Galaxy 2, whenever you're trying to able to deal with the pointer and all that stuff, which I think is kind of cool. But anyways though, yeah, we'll just have to catch a ride on, so... Now, originally, back in during the likes of 4 years ago, in the forms of the E3 2014 demo of the forms of Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, originally, that Captain Toad was supposed to be able to actually be playable in this level, but in the final version of the game, it's been replaced as Toadette instead. I think I get the idea at this point, because even then, it's kind of like the exact same way for how it does it in Sonic Adventure 2, where, you know, back in during around 2000s all that time, that whenever you're trying to play through Sonic Adventure 2, the trial demo disc, in the forms of the Dreamcast version, that if you watch the trailer of that specific version of Sonic Adventure 2 trailer in the Sonic Adventure 2 the trial Dreamcast game, originally in that trailer, that Sonic was supposed to be playable in the forms of Sky Rail, but in the final version of Sonic Adventure 2, it's been replaced by Shadow's gonna be playable in Sky Rail, which that makes it pretty obvious, because even then though, it's kind of like the same thing from this game in particular, especially noticeable by the forms of, I won't say the same thing from Sonic Forces as well, but even then though, that makes it a little bit of a, I don't know, somewhat of a identical differences or something like that. So, there we go. There we're done with that level. So, and by the way, the mission objective in that level is to collect 140 coins to be slightly extent, but even then, no, yeah. Sinister Street Signs, level 4. So, we're going into spooky territory right there. So, hopefully we won't come in towards into those little dangerous moments here and there, other than being, well, we'll get to that point when we get to it. So, alright, so here's the first gem right here. Oh yeah, to make things easier with the forms of this particular pointer on the TV mode, you can simply just see what's gonna come up in the forms of the invisible platforms there. It's kind of like the same thing for how it does it in one level in the forms of Super Mario 3D World. Because of that though, if I've already mentioned about this before, man, I love doing that. Especially noticeable how the fact that if you can't be bothered to actually let those charging chucks trying to able to actually just go ahead and just destroy the blocks, and then you can simply just do that alternatively. So, and by the way, the mission objective in this level is just simply we need to able to destroy every single mud troopers, because that's what these little zombie-like creatures are called for. Because even then, if you manage to destroy them, then you would able to accomplish this mission. But if you accidentally died in the actual level, this means you have to do the entire mission again. So even then, no, that's something I need to point things out right away, because you know, if you mess things once, then you're gonna have to redo the entire process again, which, honestly, I will admit that I don't really mind about it too much, because thankfully, though, there's no time limit or anything like that, unlike in, any other Captain Toad levels in, Super Mario 3D World for some considerable time. But even then, though, that's mainly because of how the fact that, it's all about exploration sometimes, but even then, though, yeah. So, since we've activated that P-switch from earlier ago, this means we can now actually go down here, and just go down to that pit hole right there, and we get ourselves a power star in addition to that. So, not bad for that level at all. Excuse me, I just got something in my throat there, so I do apologize for that point. So, yeah, you have to defeat all of the mud troopers right there, so just in case you weren't able to actually exterminate them every once in a while, onward, Toadette! And on to level 5, Floaty Fun Water Park. Sounds like fun. Well, at least to be more specifically, but in forms of, like, well, first of all, these Goombas are chilling out in these little floaty taps right there, just like in the forms of Super Mario 3D World. So yeah, you can definitely tell how the fact that there's going to be a lot of similarities in the forms of Super Mario 3D World sometimes, because even then, although the noticeable exception is the forms of the absence of the score system. Like the one time that in the forms of you can actually score something, but in forms of you get into like destroy the enemies and all that stuff. But now it's been replaced as the forms of how the fact that if you grab the same power up that you've already been gotten through your entire journey, then you would get yourselves 10 coins instead. So yeah, that's pretty obvious there. So anyways, let's go ahead and just traversing for those yellow pipes right there, or this yellow pipe rather. And hold right on the analog stick, so just in case you get yourselves the second gem. And I believe the mission objective in this level in particular is the fact that we need to able to kill every single Goombas, just like the mud troopers. Although sometimes I will admit though right away, it's pretty unpredictable at times, because even then though that, yeah, one of those Goombas already catch me off guard right there. So, but hey, as long as we can able to actually exterminate them, then we would able to do it just as fine. So there we go. Now we've exterminated every single Goombas, or in this case, just destroy every single Goombas. Oh, I could wish if I was gonna go after the golden mushroom. I'm so sorry about that. But I guess I'll just pass for now, because even then, no, we've almost there to like get to 20 1-ups. I mean, sure that you don't get as many 1-ups as compared to how it does in Super Mario 3D World. And also, pretty much every single Mario games has to offer, including the Kirby games as well beyond that, including the most recent game by the forms of Kirby Star Allies, because, you know, that game has a crap ton of 1-ups to collect. Even especially noticeable how the fact that you can actually save your, you know, 1-ups count anytime, anywhere, just like in the forms of how it does in Super Mario 3D Land, and especially 3D World. So, and especially Super Mario Sunshine as well for the GameCube though. But hey, at least it usually happens though. I might as well grab one more coin and whatnot, just in case if I reach to 115 coins for that amount. As far as that little acknowledgement about right there. So, anyways though, yes, not much else I can really say about this for the most part for this point, folks, other than being that we've only got 2 more days until, you know, Sonic Mania Plus will be on its way onto multitude of platforms, which I'm super looking forward to that. Especially noticeable how the fact that we've only got 12 more days to go, to be more specifically in the UK version, we'll actually get ourselves WarioWare Gold for the Nintendo 3DS. I haven't really tried a demo out yet. Well, usually for I've heard that the demo version already came out for not too while ago. Anyways, before we get to this, however, though, more coins glory. So that means we're gonna get even more coins than that. So it's pretty much the same deal, except the fact that I might as well get started with the double cherry one first, so that I can do the opposite way for in comparison to the likes of the first episode of Software. So yeah, we're sliding down for this little slant right there, and able to actually keep on unplugging those little plunges right there, so we get as many coins. Although I didn't get enough as many coins as far as the comparison to the likes of the first episode is offered. Like, I've only got about 180 of them, so that should be enough. Level 6, Drift Along Canyon. So this could be interesting. Because of that, though, the mission objective in this level is just simply we can't afford to get hit. So, you know how much of the fact that I hate these types of missions like this. It's probably one of the more annoying missions in the entire game is the fact that you need to able to complete these stages without even you can't afford to get hit, because if you get hit, then you're probably going to fail this mission entirely. So yeah, it's kind of like how it does it as you expect it from any other mission objectives like this, but in forms of, you know, Sonic and the Secret Rings, Sonic and the Black Knight, and especially noticeable in Sonic Unleashed for the Nintendo Wii and the PlayStation 2 versions for unscratched missions types. So yeah, that's the only thing I must accept as fact. So, but apart from that though, after the wow, several tries noticing from my own time on the Wii U version back in June in 2015 that I somehow managed to know what I'm doing now, because even then though, you know, you get the idea. Anyways, let's destroy these power blocks with the simple press of the actual pointer. And hopefully we'll go up and just hopefully trying to get ourselves the second gem. In fact, the second gem was actually on this little mole enemy here. And I believe if you manage to able to get this mole out of the ground, then it will simply give you the pickaxe. It's nothing too surprising about that. It's just basically you actually farming for coins, other than being you get another one up as on top of that. So not bad for that reward if you manage to go after that pickaxe. So, but yeah, you get the idea. So there's the third and final gem with the simple breakthrough with the forms of, you know, the pointer, as far as you're already aware. But the catch is though is the fact that we need to use the veggie to able to actually toss that into the forms of the third and final gem. Because of that though, you weren't able to actually get it from here, so there we go. But to make matters even much more difficult than that is the fact that we need to avoid those homing red bullet bills, because if you get hit by these red homing bullet bills, then if you do not pay attention to that, if you manage to get hit accidentally, then you pretty much guarantee that you also fail this mission. So yes, there's only 2 enemies that you need to worry about, because even then, if you do not pay attention to those, then you weren't able to actually get yourself screwed over with this specific mission objective-wise. So, but apart from that though, we did that just as fine. Whilst in some first-time players out there, whoever get a little bit of a troublesome when it comes to this level in particular, with, you know, mission structure and all that stuff, but I digress. Alright, so now let's move on to level 7, Sliding Stamp, or in this case, Sliding Slab Shuffle. Now, I believe the mission objective in this level is just simply do 4 touches only in this level. So even then, I might as well able to once again do the mission objective first. So, might as well do that first. So, okay, so let's do that. And you don't have to do the top point, however, though, so you can just simply just do those 2. Oh, shoot. This means I might as well fail this mission entirely, though, so that sucks. Alright, fine, that's fine, because I'll just simply do these diamonds first, or these gems first, so that I can able to actually go ahead and do the mission afterwards, after completing the level after that, so that's fine by me. That's definitely fine by me. But anyways. Alright, so 2 gems so far, so it's not too bad. And the third and final gem is not that hard to get though. It's just simply we need to keep on using that specific pointer to interact with all these glowing blocks and all that stuff, and then we could get ourselves the third and final gem. So now let's get the power star and run away from these whole bunch of trio of bullet bills, and they explode afterwards. So, well, at least after obtaining the power star, of course. Alright, so now let's head back into that level again, but this time we'll hopefully do a successful attempt on that specific mission objective, like clear the course within, you know, just 4 touches apiece. So yeah, you get the idea with that specific solution there. So, honestly, I think this level's not that bad, actually, as far as the actual structure of this, but even then, that is just how the fact that I wasn't paying too much attention with the forms of my depth perception. I think that's the only, thing I need to get used to at that point, so there we go, finally. Then thankfully though, you don't have to deal with that specific glowing block here, so just in case you don't accidentally touch one, because if you accidentally touch one, then you obviously failed that objective. So even then though, I suggest you're able to do those 2 glowing blocks, or these platforms I should say, all that slants, whatever you want to prefer calling it them, but even then though, there we go. Alright, so now we move on to level 8, Spooky Spectres at Shadow Manor. So, we're going on another spooky level here. Before we continue, go over here and talk to the Blue Toad Brigade in the process. That way you should get a 1-up. In this case, speaking of the 1-up mushroom, that's the mission objective in this level, by the way, because, well, if you found a 1-up mushroom, then you would able to success for this mission, so yeah, not that hard to able to get though. It's really easy to miss though if you have a first time playing for this particular level, or even especially for the entirety of the game itself. But this is one of those things that you need to able to watch it for. So there we go. We got our first gem right there, and now we need to hit back up and go to the left because there was actually a hidden alcove there, so it contained the second gem. And the third and final gem is that we need to able to deal with this little particular, you know, this little spin wheel mechanic. Now the fact we need to able to deal with this just as for now, and we can hopefully just try to able to fix everything. So, not to mention with the forms of trying to get the right placement with the forms of these platforms like this. And oh gosh, there's the 2 big boos. Let's go ahead and just you know, just shine onto them, and then they'll just get killed by the forms of the actual strong light. And it doesn't matter if we don't take care of the actual 2 boos at the very end, because they just simply just stand around and then all that stuff. Well, you just simply just walk straight forward all the way to the power star itself. But yeah, not that complicated. It's just how it is. Alright, now done with that, and now let's go ahead and yeah, that's a quick tip. If you manage to, yeah, already know that stuff. Okay, so now let's move on to level 9, the Dragodon's Revenge. And in order to actually unlock this level, it's just simply we need to collect about 55 gems. So even then though, as soon as we got that enough, that means we can now jump in. So we once again return to the volcano level right there. So yeah, we can definitely tell how the fact that we can get to that point. Hey, we've met again. But this time you're gonna get a lot more hatred from me. Well, at least to be more specifically from just Toads in general, for that department's there. So, there's one thing I should probably mention about this. I forgot to mention this in the forms of, you know, back in level 14, in the forms of episode 1 book. You know how the fact that that originally in the Wii U and the 3DS versions of the forms of Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, much like it does it how it does it in a Super Mario 3D World, there's normally these platforms which are essentially called these little blow-like platforms, which if you manage to blow on into your microphone, you know that lifting platform like this one, for instance. Normally, if you ever play this level on the 3DS and the Wii U version of the game, the blow platform will be existent. But in the Switch version, on the other hand, though, it's been replaced as automatic moving platforms. I think this is most likely because the Nintendo Switch does not have the microphone support, which even then, I think that's pretty obvious for this point, because I can definitely tell the Nintendo Switch console does not have the microphone built in with it, unlike in the Wii U gamepad, and especially noticeable with the 3DS family, which even then, that may seem the case, mind you, so... Oh, shoot! Oh, that's a bit of annoying there. In fact, since I've got my 3 gems, and not to mention the fireball was in here, I'll go and kill myself, because yeah, once again, the mission objective in this level is just simply we can't afford to get hit at least once, so jeez. Things doesn't look too good, I will admit that right away. And I apologize for that jump cut right there, just because I have to fetch my tea real quickly. Or in this case, my cup of tea, whatever I was trying to be more precise. Well, granted though, the weather itself is really hot at the moment, like the forms of high temperatures in the UK at the moment, so I should probably not have my cup of tea at the moment until when it gets to winter, but it's now time for summer, so I think excuse me, I think at this point I probably should able to take a break on cup of teas for now, other than being for breakfasty stuff, or in this case breakfast, I should say, but I digress. Alright, so let's try this again, and I mentioned this before, the fact that the mission objective in this level is just basically we need to, well, make our way towards the very end of the level without avoid getting hit, because even then though, just like the ones in level 6, but except a little bit more difficult because of the fact that, you know, these little falling fireballs from the ceiling, you have to avoid those at all costs, because even then, if you do not avoid them at all costs, even especially noticeable with that, you know, the lava is constantly rising, well, that's the whole entire impression of that specific matter, but even then, though, hopefully we can get up. Okay, stay there. Oh, no, go back up, okay, good. Oh, that was really close. Because if that particular platform over there were able to actually dip down every now and then, I would automatically die. So I might as well able to watch out for that. What's in here? Just a regular mushroom. Nothing special. Oh, Christ. That was really close. Okay, just last spin wheel and just defend ourselves. Just in case we don't get hit. No matter what, though. And, oh, might as well get back in here and just be prepared, and boom! There we go. Whew. That sure is a bit difficult right there, I will admit though right away. It's most likely because of the unpredictable hazards you do need to be able to predict for, but hey, we smacked his head for a second time. Now, I'm presuming he might get himself his worst headache at any point noticing. But I don't usually think about it, but hey, at least we don't have to, like, you know, deal with him for, I don't know, for that point. But anyway, let's grab the power star very quickly, and we'll get the heck out of here on this magma, setting. At least for now, anyway. Hey, that mission objective, man, that can always test my patience sometimes. But anyways, though, let's move on. Farewell, Puff Peak. Oh, what does that do? Oh, this could be interesting. Oh, I see, we're riding on him for the entire time on this particular section. Now, originally, much like how it does in the forms of level 3 in Chapter 2, originally back in E3 2014, that Captain Toad was supposed to be riding onto this particular Dragonair, but the thing is, in the final version, Toadette is going to be riding on him for the entire time in the final version of the game, which I know you can't do anything around here, it's just completely autopilot, and as a result, you can collect coins if you wanted to, but coins doesn't really count at all, other than being you can actually just press the A button to breathe fire and all that stuff, which is kind of cool. Look at her go. So adorable. So yeah, that's all there is to know with that specific scene alone. But anyways though, I think I should probably do one more level for this video, and then in the next video we'll probably conclude episode 2. Level 10, Spin Wheel Kark Ruins. And this usually takes place in a desert environment, and the main purpose of this level is just simply we need to constantly using the spin wheel for the entire time until we shift the gear to gear with those perspective colors. So I think that's pretty obvious right there, so yeah, you get the idea with that solution. So and don't worry, I'll promise you guys in the forms of the uploading schedule, we'll get back on track in the forms of 6 o'clock during the afternoon. Well, it all depends though, really, because even then though, for you guys who lived in the different countries worth mentioning, you guys do have their different time zones and all that stuff, which even then, I understand that, because even then though, that at the moment, that I usually manage to upload this really late, compared to the usual time in the forms of 6 o'clock. But I'm also able to cope with this, but at the same time, it just may actually give me as not much views out there, which I will admit though right away, it's a little bit more nuisance anyway. But anyways, the mission objective in this level is just simply we need to find the golden mushroom, which even then, just like before, if you found one of the golden mushroom, then you would basically do just as that. So, yeah, now let's go ahead and just move on, and we need to get the third and final gem before we grab the power star, so, well, just simply bypassing those walleyes, so, oh, shoot. Okay, that's fine, because if we're traversing for that purple pipe, then not only do we get ourselves the third and final gem, but also, by default, a lot of mushroom bags, so, there we go. It doesn't matter how much coins I might go after for. Yet again, 77 total coins. What, am I lucky for that point today? Oh, jeez. Anyways, though. Alright, let's just distract them while simply just using, you know, the little sensor, or in this case, the pointer. And we finished the level as normal, so there we go. Not bad for that level at all. It's not that complicated either. Alright, so with that being said, I'm assuming we got to end things off for this point right there, so yeah, we're on the halfway point in episode 2 right now, so jeez, I can't believe we're actually breezing this very, very quickly. Oh, I forgot about this. I should probably do that quickly, because I haven't really shown you guys the pickaxe version of this particular more coins glory type of bonus stage. But don't worry, we'll get to that point straightly afterwards, so we'll grab the mushroom quickly, and we'll go to the pickaxe section. So hopefully we'll get even more coins than before, and if you manage to find a hidden area like this, for this area for instance, then you can get even more coins. I believe if I played the 3DS version of the game, it gets like just a whole bunch of golden mushrooms, which I think that's the reason why both the Switch version and the 3DS version are way too easier than the Wii U versions for a small extent of for that point. So anyways, we got to end things off here, so join me next time on Let's Play Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. It's the fact that we're going to be hopefully finishing up with episode 2 with level 11 through 18. So yeah, see you guys next time. Later, fellas.